Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, in case you haven't heard, there is a huge scandal overshadowing the upcoming Olympics in Rio. And this time it's not about Rio. It's the Russian doping scandal. Now, this wasn't a case of some athletes trying to gain an edge. This was the case of a country trying to gain an edge. This doping scandal can be traced high up into the Kremlin, the Russian security forces, and I'm willing to bet right into the office of Vladimir Putin. But the fact is that the Russian government was engaged in doping their athletes, and the athletes didn't have any choice. It wasn't like the athletes could go, no, I don't want to take these drugs. And two Russians, a fellow by the name of Vitaly Stepanov, who worked for the Russian anti-doping agency, which is a misnomer. They were actually the Russian pro-doping agency. And a Russian track star, Yulia Stepanova, who was his wife, they actually blew the whistle on the Russians. And when the news broke, they had to flee to Germany, and now they're somewhere in the United States, basically in hiding, in fear for their safety. These people risked their lives. They didn't just tip off the anti-doping agency. The anti-doping agency then, and before it would act on anything they said, before it would investigate it, they kind of coerced them into obtaining the evidence. So these people were taping phone calls and recording conversations that they were having and getting files and risking their lives. And if you think I'm exaggerating about risking their lives, you might want to Google the name Nikita Kamaev, a Russian who died under very mysterious circumstances when it was learned that he was considering writing a tell-all book about doping in Russia. Now, so far, the IOC has not decided what they're going to do. The WADA, the World Anti-Doping Agency, has recommended that the Russian track team not be allowed to participate in the Olympics. Actually, what should happen, since this was a systemic problem in Russia, the entire Russian Olympics team should not be allowed to compete in the Olympics in Rio. But like I said, the International Olympic Committee has not yet decided. So you might actually have a situation where the Russian Olympic Federation is allowed to compete, and the people who blew the whistle, or the person who helped to blow the whistle, Yulia Stepanova, will not be allowed to compete in the Games, because Russia's not going to let them compete, let her compete for them. As a matter of fact, she can't even go near Russia for fear that she'll be killed. So if the IOC and the International Amateur Athletic Federation, IAAF, if they have any integrity at all, they will ban the entire Russian team from competing in the Olympics, any sport. Now, of course, it will be a big decision, because part of the attraction, part of the TV ratings, is when the Russians and the United States are competing against each other. That increases your ratings. But if they're going to have any integrity at all, they'll have to ban the Russians and then also allow Yulia Stepanova to compete under the Olympic flag. That would be the ideal solution. But nobody ever lost money betting against the integrity of the International Olympic Committee. Thanks for listening.